takes a lot of money to run a house the size of Flaxton Hall, even in the 1850s when a little money went a long way. However, it was whispered a fortune was hidden somewhere in the house, hidden by Joseph Flaxton, who it was said died a rich man, yet who left nothing save the house to a boy he had never seen. But Lucy Flaxton was not the only one with financial troubles. Her nearest neighbour, Sir Peregrine Stilgo, was also plagued by money worries, and his were far more urgent than hers.
So do you think that I would allow that scrap of paper to deprive me of my house and lands, bailiff?
It's a writ from your creditors, Sir Peregrine. They want their money.
Confound my creditors, they can wait.
They have waited, sir, for many months now, some indeed for years.
Hold your tongue.
They have already been more than patient with you, sir. Your gambling debts alone amount to several thousands of pounds. There has been money loaned to you against your estates, for which you have given notes of credit. The law requires you give up Stilgo Lodge to meet these demands, unless, of course, you have the immediate funds to liquidate the amounts outstanding.
I have the funds.
Good. Then if you can give me a draft.
I'll give you nothing. Not at this moment.
Then I am required to serve this writ upon you, sir.
Devil take you and your wretch.
That alters nothing. This matter is now in the hands of the law.
And you know about the law, Mr. Bailiff.
I do, sir.
Then you will realize that at this moment you are trespassing upon my property. I shall give you just 5 minutes to clear my estate.
Your debts are in excess of £20,000. The money should be paid to the sheriff's office before the end of the week. Otherwise, I shall be forced to return. And next time, it will be final.
Get out of here!
Please yourself. Good day to you, sir.
£20,000? It's a lot of money, sir. They'll evict you, sir.
No, by thunder, they'll not take Stilgo Lodge from me.
Unless you can find £20,000.
Over there, Slight, not very far away, there is a deal more than £20,000. Over there in Flaxton Hall, 50, 60,000, perhaps more.
If it can be found, we have searched for it, sir.
In secrecy or under the cover of darkness.
But it'll always be the same as long as Mrs. Flaxton and that brat are in residence. Under the terms of Joseph Flaxton's will...
Joseph Flaxton's will. Aye. And perhaps there is the answer.
There's no way round it, sir. The old man left the hall to the boy.
The hall and everything in it.
Yes, a strange thing to do.
Strange. But then, Joseph Flaxton was a strange old man, was he not? Strange, perhaps, even to the point of madness.
Well, eccentricity, I would say.
No, madness, you would say, and so would I, and so would others.
I'm sorry, I don't follow you, sir.
Madmen do peculiar things, like they have erratic ways, and they change their minds a great deal, do they not?
Do they, sir?
We once engaged the services of a rogue clerk, worked for a firm of solicitors in Harrogate.
Josiah Meakin, sir. Yes, a crafty and unscrupulous devil. That time when I impersonated your wounded nephew back from the Crimea.
Yes, Meakin. As I recall, Joseph Flaxton was a client of his late employers.
The solicitors, Fairgood, Beanley and Sorensen. They administered the estate of the old man.
And find Meakin again for me, Slight. Find him and bring him to me.
Oh, but, sir, he cost us a pretty penny last time.
Find him, do you hear me? Find him!
Yes, sir.
It's all right, she's gone.
That people certainly explains a lot, Jonathan.
Yes, especially after I know so much of what's going on in this house.
It's a wonderful secret passage, but we didn't find any treasure there, did we?
No.
I think it's all make-believe anyway.
There is treasure somewhere in this house. There must be.
You read too many storybooks. The old man left with the house. You'll be satisfied with that.
The house isn't much good if there's no money to run it.
Well, if it is here, that we'll find it sooner or later.
There are clues, Archie.
In that bit of poetry on Joseph Flaxton's gravestone.
Yes.
Nothing to say that is a clue.
Nothing to say it isn't either.
I wager you can't remember it.
Listen. The curfew tolls the knell of parting day. The lowing herd winds slowly o'er the lea. The ploughman homeward plods his weary way and leaves the world to darkness and to me.
Can't see anything in that.
The curfew, that's a bell.
Why?
Bells come in clocks.
Plenty of them in this place.
But not all of them have bells.
There's a grandfather clock in the hall.
That hasn't got a bell, it chimes.
There's a church bell.
Too easy for someone else to find.
I don't understand why your great uncle had the fortune in the first place. That is, if there is a fortune. What about that one?
The stable clock.
Ah, it'd be a fine place to hide anything up there, wouldn't it?
Come on, Archie.
And you'll never come in here?
Yes, Nathan does to wind the clock.
But he don't take a broom to it sometime.
That must be the clock itself up there.
Aye.
Well?
You first. Not much room to hide out in here, is there?
There could be something like a secret panel.
Secret panels are all right inside a house. Can't see what much use to be in a clock tower.
Well, the poem did lead us here.
If we read it right.
We did read it right. Look,
Hey,
the curfew tolls.
it's that poem again.
I wish you could read. Make things much easier.
Well, I will one day.
There's something wrong with it. There's something missing. Stop them! I said stop them! I can't hear you!
All right, ma'am.
Help?
Serves you right. Serves you both right. You've no business up here, either of you. Master Jonathan, your poor mother'll have something to say about this, mark my words.
Yes, Nathan.
No, be very careful. Don't step on those boards, they'll give way. Come around the edge. It's safe this way. Whole place is full of dry rot. You've both been told not to play around up here.
But we weren't playing, Nathan.
I'm the only one that's allowed up here. And that's only to wind the clock. I know where the bad patches are. Master Jonathan, if your father was home, you know what you'd get, don't you? We take the strap thing. Why don't kill yourselves, both of you.
You were told when you first came here that you were not to go near that clock tower. Either of you.
We forgot, Mother.
Yes, evidently.
It was my fault, Mum. I was the one that set the bells ringing.
But it's minded to go up there in the first place.
I should say that you were both of you equally to blame. Now, may I have your assurance? Will you promise me that you will not go near that clock tower again?
Yes, Mother.
Thank you. Flora,
Yes, ma'am.
they will have an early supper tonight, and they will be in bed by 7 o'clock.
Yes, ma'am. There now.
Thank you, Flora.
You will come to the kitchen at 6:30 for your supper. You were to have steak and kidney pie tonight. Instead, you will have a bowl of vegetable soup and some plain bread. Furthermore, the meal will be taken in silence while you think on mending the error of your ways.
How's the leg?
All right.
I've been thinking about the clock chamber, Archie.
I'm going to try and forget it.
I've remembered what's wrong with the quotation. It's the last line, Archie.
What about it?
Been missed out completely.
Perhaps you just didn't have enough room to get it in.
There was room. I'm certain of that. And another thing, the paint was fairly new. Not as old as the rest of the place. I think it was put up there in the last year or two.
Yes, come in.
Sir Peregrine, sir.
Yes.
Mr. Josiah Meakin, sir.
So you found him.
Well, he found me. He wasn't very far away, in a lodging house in Carliston.
Anticipating your needs, sir. I had a feeling in my bones you might require my services again.
You may be of some use to me.
In regards to Flaxton Hall, once more, I take it, sir?
Yes. The last time we had dealings, Meakin, you told me that you were the solicitor's clerk who drew up Joseph Flaxton's will.
Correct in every detail, sir.
So that, at the time of writing it, only you and he knew the true contents of the document?
At the time of writing, sir, yes.
I take it, then, that you're a fine penman.
People have seen fit to pass favourable remarks upon the quality of my hand, sir.
Good. Then I have work for you.
I thought you might, sir, but you will recall that my fees are relatively high, sir, especially if the services involved do not conform exactly with the letter of the law. If you take my meaning, sir.
I take your meaning well enough. Do your job properly, Meakin, and there'll be money enough to pay your price. And more besides.
I'm giving the Ruskies a trouncing. What's wrong with you?
Nothing.
I'm just taking a Russian position.
Congratulations.
What is it?
And leaves the world to darkness and to me.
Hey?
The last line, Archie. The one that was missing from the beam of the clock chamber.
Well, there's little enough clue in that.
Don't you see, Archie? That could be the important line.
Then I don't see why your great uncle left it out.
To draw attention to it.
Well, that's beyond me.
Darkness. Maybe the clue's in the word darkness. A dark place.
Plenty of them here. Cellars, corridors, passages.
Yes, it's too vague, isn't it?
Oh, no.
Who is it?
It's a Peregrine's carriage.
Oh, him.
With that full light and another one. Are we coming in here?
Let's hide. Hey, where do you think?
Aye. Only this time we'll not get ourselves locked in.
It's all right, I'll have to work it now.
I do apologize for this intrusion, ma'am. I seem always to be calling upon you unannounced. Unfortunately, the matter is both urgent and important.
Not bad news, I hope.
Well,
My husband. There has been word from the Crimea.
no. The matter concerns Flaxton Hall, I fear, ma'am.
Indeed. Well, Sir Peregrine, will you sit down?
Thank you, ma'am. This gentleman is Mr. Josiah Meakin, ma'am, a senior clerk to a Harrogate firm of solicitors, Messrs. Fairgood, Beanley and Sorensen, ma'am.
I know them, do I not?
Yes, ma'am. We administer the details of the late Joseph Flaxton's estates.
Yes, indeed.
Mr. Meakin has been working
In our London office these past few months.
Consequently, he was away when poor Joseph Flaxton died and the estate was handed over to your son.
The fact of the matter is, ma'am, certain questions have been raised as to Joseph Flaxton's mental capacity.
I beg your pardon.
Of course, there's no suggestion as to him being insane, you do understand.
No, but he was old, ma'am, and age brings with it a degree of senility.
Just a little vague, or shall we say, eccentric.
Take, for example, this business of his last will and testament. Don't you think it a little strange that he should leave this enormous, rambling old house to a small boy
Of tender years.
whom he had never even seen?
Are you implying, then, that Joseph Flaxton's will is invalid?
Fortunately, ma'am, the question does not arise.
Well, why not?
The medical practitioner attending Joseph Flaxton at the time suggested that the old man might apply a final clause to his will.
A mere formality, ma'am, to safeguard the validity of the document should the question arise.
This clause, added 3 days after the completion of the final will, made allowance for a trustee to administer the estates.
I knew nothing of this.
Oh, I fear no one else did, ma'am, save for myself and the necessary witnesses. Now, if you read here... Ah, there we are, ma'am. In the absence of the boy's father, Sir Peregrine Stilgo is to administer the estates. There we are, ma'am. Signed, sealed, and perfectly legal.
I, too, knew nothing of this, ma'am, until Mr. Meakin here informed me of the situation.
And Captain Flaxton is absent, is he not?
I am in a most difficult situation, ma'am.
Oh, really? Why?
I refer to an outstanding debt. You see, I sold some land to Joseph Flaxton, and I also lent him a considerable amount of money. I have his notes, of course.
Well, how much?
Several £1,000s.
Impossible, ma'am.
Really? Am I to be called a liar by a servant?
You want this house. You've covered it from the moment Joseph Flaxton was laid to his grave. You want the house and all that goes with it.
Laura, that will do. About this debt, Sir Peregrine, what is to be done?
Is it not obvious, ma'am? The house must be sold, of course.
Under the terms of Joseph Flaxton's will.
Under the latter clause of the will, ma'am, Sir Peregrine has full jurisdiction over the estate.
And I am fully aware of your embarrassed financial situation, Mrs. Flaxton. I intend to do all that I can to help. I myself will purchase the house. And in the meantime, I will supervise the running of the estate.
I should want to see this note, Sir Peregrine.
Duly notarized, ma'am.
I must take legal advice.
From Messrs. Fairgood, Beanley and Sorensen.
Well, Mr. Meakin here represents them.
No.
ma'am.
From some other solicitors. I should want to show them the later clause to the will.
Of course, ma'am, but this is the only copy in existence. It must be taken care of until your legal representative is here. Now, if you will excuse me, ma'am, I have much to do. I have to get to Harrogate tonight. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Right, Mr. Meakin, thank you.
You would turn us out of this house, Sir Peregrine.
What else can I do? Besides, this house is far too large for you and your family, is it not? It is nothing but a burden to you. And I have to get the place into some sort of order.
When would you want us to leave?
Soon.
And I tell you, ma'am, it is not but a foul trick. Underneath all his finery, Sir Peregrine has a black heart.
Laura, you have no proof.
Madam, there never was a later clause to the will. Neither did Joseph Flaxton owe one single penny piece to any man. It is all a trick.
And if she goes to another solicitor, Sir Peregrine?
It is of no consequence. Meakin and I spent all night working upon these documents. Who is to say they're not genuine?
And what if she seeks the aid of a court of law?
It would take months for the case to be heard. And there is still naught to say that she would win the action. In the meantime...
You have control of Flaxton Hall.
And time to find the fortune.
Furthermore, the bailiff will not plague you. Not when he knows you're as good as the new master of Flaxton.
I think I shall take a stroll around the estate to assess the value of my property. Look after these documents, Slides. Remember, they're the only ones in existence. Where's your mistress?
In her bedroom and not to be disturbed.
And I would not dream of imposing upon her.
You're a fool, woman. You've allied yourself to the wrong party. But there is still time for you to change your mind. I would rather have you for a friend than for an enemy. And I would pay well.
Had you all the money in the Queen's Empire, Sir Peregrine, you could not buy me to your side.
As you will. I shall take tea in an hour's time.
documents.
What about them?
They've gone. They've vanished, disappeared right from under my very nose. They were there a minute ago, and now they've gone. It's this house. It's bewitched. It's bedeviled.
Aye, they do say that.
Sir Peregrine!
All right, Master Jonathan, I know you're in there. Aye, I know. You should be roundly scolded. But in this instance, now, you heard all that went on in this room.
Yes.
Then you will understand what these documents mean.
Yes.
Archie, get over to that window and open it up wide. Jonathan, be ready to jump out the window and then get rid of the papers. Nathan! Nathan, come on, hurry up.
The boys have got the documents!
Get him, you fool! Come on!
Devil are those brats, you stupid... Peregrine!
We've got the documents.
Right, my lads.
Now, you listen to me, Nathan.
Do something, you idiot.
Keep that away from Sir Peregrine.
So once more, Sir Peregrine's evil designs fall to the ground. But the danger to the inhabitants of Flaxton Hall has not yet passed. For though they now know Sir Peregrine for what he really is, they cannot know how desperate he has become. He will stop at nothing to get his hands on that fortune, if such a fortune exists.